Yeah, this is the I guess the third part. I was trying to say in reference to this, in context to what I was just saying. I think I came up with an idea about my approach. I kind of come into the idea of I don't have that much manual control over who the hell I am anymore. I mean, in a lot of areas, a lot of personal areas, a lot of for granted, well-being, healthy, functional, pre-injury nervous system areas. With that said, I'm saying I kind of come from like the guitar playing approach of sympathetic harmony. It's an Eastern philosophy where you basically have two notes in sympathetic harmony. There's a balance between two notes. They're never really, you're not really in tune. You're just kind of like, you're always out of tune. And it's a personal approach. You're always out of tune. You always stand out. But you're in sympathetic harmony with other strings that are that are played and don't have to be affected or touched. So it's like a reactionary method to play the stringed instrument like a guitar. And I took that as a point to I was thinking earlier. I was trying to infer from the shower at the pool today. I was coming up with these ideas. It's sympathetic harmony that I don't want to be of it. I want to react to it. It's not an apologetic position in a philosophical debate or question. How I live, I'm not always reactionary, but I am always usually not looking to fit in. It's not an inferiority complex entirely. It's just I don't want you to duplicate or land on me, my path, All right, so it's not so bad. It's not so crazy. It is a little bit. It is a little bit where I'm at. I'm a little bit more like. I'm a little bit open and sensitive to the being alive right now. Definitely. I'm happy enough. I wrote. I want to say before I hang up. I wrote the responses to the lawyer in Utica and on the radio topic for the Bill Keeler show a couple days ago. February 18th, 9 a.m. in radio show. On the GothamCity.com, I'm the only guy posted there as a response. And then I linked it over to the Topics.com forum for Leon Koziel on Bill Keeler, or 92.7 and 9 a.m. post from Justin on Topics.com Utica. I stuck my neck out. I'm not against anybody. I did stand, for my position, and I stood up for some issues. Hey, last word for me today on that is, I'm trying to help Mr. Koziel. I'm trying to make him come to his senses. I put on the YouTube link for Roger Waters and the Berlin video for the trial from the Wall Show when I was there. I was there at the Wall Show, Checkpoint Charlie, 92, I think it was, July 92. No, it had to be 91, July 91. And, I was there. I got the video on the YouTube of the wall, where the wall comes down, and you little shit, you're in it now. I hope they throw away the key from his ex-wife. You should have talked to me more often than you did, but no. You had to go your own way. Have you broken any homes up lately? Just 5 minutes for him, Your Honor. Him and me alone. The wife with the scorpion tail. Mr. Koziel, they're all the same, man. If you're not with them, they hate you. Simple as that. But your kids still need to see you. I'm hoping he comes to his senses. As a man, I hope he comes to his senses and doesn't attack me in a courtroom. I gave Mr. John Pulowski as an instructor I had at MVCC for child development, and I had to go in class and over weeks. It was about over a month. It was quite some time. I had to do it for an in-class observation to do an evaluation for child development class at MVCC back in '06, I think it was, for a preschool class, and I had to evaluate to what I thought they were upholding standards of conduct and proper, properly conducting and their relationship with the children in preschool age in our city. And Mr. Pulowski, I mentioned, is a I don't know how he is today or if he's still at MVCC, but I know John Pulowski was a federal evaluator for Head Start programs when they were just cropping up. And he had stories about going to North Carolina and down south and all over the place in his classroom, where he was he was instrumental in understanding right from wrong, and he might help Mr. Koziel in his cause. I thought I should tell him that. I should say, hey, there's a guy that isn't there in town that I hope, or he could be reached through MVCC, some kind of knowledge of him, who was a federal person on behalf of children's advocacy. And I thought that was something he should know. I got an A in that guy's class. He gave me an A on my paper for the in-class observation. He said to me that he doesn't ever give anybody A's, and he took my personal experiences to heart. And and one of the last things I wrote to Mr. Koziel's post on the GothamCity.com, I guess Mr. Tenori, Larry Tenori, is a guy in charge of that show, that website, I believe. Which I liked your restaurant when it was in West Utica, and He's Not Here was open years ago, and I used to go in there after hours every now and then and stumble into the after hours eggs and coffee. It was awesome. Home fries. Anyway, not that I'm anybody. I'm not anybody's buddy, or I don't know what's going on. I'm not against or for the political stuff. I'm just saying, as a man, I lived in Utica. It was a good time, and you had a good restaurant. Now I'm on the GothamCity.com, the only name that I saw as of yesterday, and I got 2 posts up there. I'm not mocking anybody. I'm not mocking anybody. You know what I mean? I have, maybe I'm not eloquent in my speech and coherent in my approach to writing it down because it's so personal to me, and I'm not really putting any drafts together to formulate anything. So I'm a little bit random and I'm rambling about it, but yeah, I'm just trying to make everybody if I could be of any help to anybody at all, lawfully and legally, don't hesitate to contact me. And it's just that simple. I'm of age right now, and I'm in a position in life. I got nothing to lose but to try my damnedest to get things moving the right way for me. It's now or never. All right, so I'm going to sign off right now and make a lunch for myself, and I definitely got to feed my son. We both were in the water. We had a good time with a little boy and his father who doesn't normally live in town, and he was here for I don't believe he's usually the little boy's usually with his mom, and where we go swimming, and that's great, man. That's great. We were throwing a ball at each other, and it was a little carried away, but we can handle it. Everybody handle it, and it was great. And I want to thank I thought of Mr. Cozy. I said, man, I know he's got daughters, and it's a different world, but I got a son. Like the other guy had his son, but they're still kids, and they So even if I don't even want to get involved with this issue anymore. It's like I'm part of their family, and they're not listening to me. And that's not right. That's not who I am, and that's not my life. But the story was out there for public consumption, and I reacted to it because obviously I'm kind of a public guy, whether I have anybody acknowledging me or not, because I don't really have anybody at home or physical relationship, interaction. I don't go to people's tables to eat who are my family in my community, my blood relatives, for years. And I'm not married, so I guess I am some kind of a talking head like everybody else on the computer. So personality like the Max Headroom guy. I'm just not a famous one or making any money doing it, but I'm just putting my 2 cents in. Like my friend Lee told me from Kentucky, who I knew in the Army. He wrote me a couple days ago on Facebook and said, calm down with topics, it can make you crazy. You know, don't do it. Don't do it too much. You know, you don't go too far with those guys because they'll drive you around, man. They'll whip you around. Just putting my 2 cents in, he goes. And I said, yep, straight and stalwart. And he goes, straight and stalwart, Bo. And that was it. And I gotta say, man, if nothing else, you know, straight and stalwart.